Just let me get the headphones.
Let me know when I have to do the check.
Alright. Mic check, 1, 2.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Sounds good. Alright, I'm gonna go pardon me. I'm gonna go to Grimhex and look at some of the armors.
Yeah, they do have the interesting stuff over there.
To get your I just bought some stuff. To get your stuff that you've bought, do you just go to the menu and back, or do you have to quit the game? Surely you just have to reload.
I think maybe just reloading, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. I picked up those racing jackets from the subscriber store.
Yeah, those are pretty cool, no?
Um,
What about the helmet? The helmet is not in the subscriber store, it's in the normal store. There's 3 helmets, and they go well with them, with most of them. They're like $2-3. I actually wanted to. I'm waiting. You can go racing if you want at some point. The way that I have set up how I'm gonna play is I have 5 armors, normal armors, and then I also have 2 racing suits, and then I also have one for deliveries and one for mining or whatever. So that's a total of like almost 10 suits. So I just play one loop, and when I run out of suits, I just play another loop. And then when I run out of everything, I just quit the game and melt everything, rebuy it. In the future, though, I'm probably gonna invest another $100 so that instead of having 5-2-2, I'm gonna have like 10-4-4, just in case I want to play the whole weekend. You know, you don't want to run out because once you buy something, you cannot melt it for 24 hours. So you know, if you
okay.
use all your armors, then you go to sleep for 8 hours. So you wake up and want to play again, you can't
Right.
unless you have enough. You know, unless you have bought enough.
Just need to buy like 8.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing is, let's say that you have, for example, the 2 Furies. You have the Fury and the Fury MX, right? And the paint for the Fury, I put the white, right? But if you want to put on 2 Furies, you need 2 white paints.
Right.
You need to buy the same paint twice. So right now I have white in my Fury, and the Fury MX, the default is black, and I've just left it like that. Because you know, if I don't mind spending the extra money, but if I do it, that means everybody has to do it, and then I have to ask all these people. You know, like for example, Rory hasn't spent any money on the game. He just bought like 1 paint or 2 paints or something. So I
Right.
feel like with these people, with some people, like asking them to spend more money is like pulling teeth, and you know, I don't want to. Although I wouldn't mind buying them for them myself, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see. Could be at some point if I make a lot of money that I would just be buying paints for people and trading. Why not?
So this helmet you're talking about, it's like a motorcycle helmet, right?
Helmet for what exclusive one?
To the one to go with the racing jacket.
Yes, it looks like a motorcycle. There's three of them. It's funny that Shubin was calling Vitalik greedy, but the only reason that Shubin wants the whole of humanity to build everything on Bitcoin, and so that the rest of Bitcoin, the mannequin is going to pump his bags because he bought Bitcoin at $600.
Right.
So who's been greedy now? He wants to stop progress so that he can become a billionaire. Essentially, that's what he wants. Even he doesn't understand it. Who's greedy? Is it Vitalik who built all the stuff? That's definitely in my eyes, Shubin is more greedy than Vitalik. Even though Vitalik, is richer, but he's richer because I actually went that far. You know what I told Shubin? I told him that you have never made anything anywhere near as innovative as what Vitalik has done. So you are, and he's in his 30s or something. So chances are he will not, he will die without making anything even as 1,000 as useful as, and you're calling him greedy. It's insane. But he doesn't see it because he doesn't understand, architecture.
Just tried re-login and my stuff didn't appear. So I'm gonna try quitting the game.
So I bought 6 of my, but mine is pretty set. Probably won't be changing it. I'm quite happy with it. Another thought I thought, this bird armor that I'm wearing, it has 3 colors. So in the beginning when I saw it, I thought, how cool would it be if we just use those 3 colors for the 3 ranks? And then when we went into the Prowler, we would look like we belonged there, But that's only for the Prowler. It looks great on the Prowler, but it doesn't look so great on the other ships.
Yeah.
The other ships, the more military ships, like the Redeemer, they're better with the military. So it would be great if we could have, a whole different selection, whole essentially loadouts, not just for each individual, but for ship loadouts and for different planets, different moons. But it's not going to happen because it costs money outside the game. It also costs money in the game. Like even if it was Joel in credits, again, we couldn't afford for everybody all the permutations. And but I definitely can't do this for the higher ranks. It can be a requirement for the 2-3 higher ranks to get into this stuff a lot, spend a lot of money and all that stuff. So we'll see. And there's quite a few people. You know how much money. Only Shubin himself has spent 3,000, just himself. So I think between the people that spend a lot of money in this game are Adjudicator, you, Shubin, me. I would say Adjudicator, Shubin, and you are number 1. And then I have a lot of ships, but I don't have expensive ships. So I do buy a lot of stuff, but I buy cheaper stuff. I do plan to buy some bigger ships too, but I need to plan for it. I definitely want a Hull C. I want a Carrack. Ultimately, of course, I want everything. And then Rico's buying quite a few, and then Chef is buying the fewest of all of us. So we have 6 people buying stuff, and then we have several other people who buy nothing. Like they don't even buy. They won't even buy like a pistol or anything. And I can sort of see it from the perspective too, because in one sense it is wasted money. If you don't play as many hours as we do, yeah, it's a waste of money. And in order to play, I've actually written an article in my head why some people enjoy it more and some people don't. Let me give you an example. For example, that guy Kojiro, right? His name is Asian, so I don't know. He's an Asian American, and he played with us one session, just like he played with us, years ago. A few sessions of Rust, and he never touched it again. And then 2 sessions of Atlas, or 1 session of Atlas, never done. So I think that guy reads my stuff, and then he gets excited by the way that I describe stuff. I describe stuff and I make it sound exciting, and then when he jumps into it, he sees that it's just not for him. And
Right.
I think one of the reasons it's not for him and for for most people is because when you jump into Stanton, you can go anywhere immediately. Nothing is gated. You can go to any planet, any landing zone, there's nothing stopping you from just being a tourist and seeing everything. And then once you've seen everything, you feel to yourself, well, what else is there? It's boring. And the funny thing is, but you'll tell, the retort to this is that, but Kojiro hasn't seen everything. He just played 1 session. Yes, he hasn't seen anything, but he knows that if he wants to, he can. And that makes the world less interesting to him. He prefers the world where there's 10 stages, he plays the first stage, and then in order to see the second stage, he has to beat the first stage. And then he gets this rush of accomplishment. Oh, now I'm going to see the second stage. And then the third stage. And you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's the first level. That's the first thing, that it really is an open world. That's the difference. Like it sounds like everybody would like an open world, but no, when we make the experiments, we see that most people do not like an open world. But the question is then, how do the people who enjoy the open world get the enjoyment? Where do they get it from? And first of all, we just get it from being there, like just walking around these incredible environments. And then you're thinking, okay, so Kojiro doesn't get that joy from walking around these environments, and because deep inside us, all of us, we think that everybody else thinks like us. Like when we see a beautiful thing, we think that everybody would also have the joy from the beautiful thing. But then when you go out into the world and you look at, for example, what cars people drive, go out in the street. 90% of the cars are disgusting. They're not just ugly; they're disgusting. People pay 20,000 bucks, 30,000 bucks for a disgusting car. How many people actually have a good-looking car? So that means that the person who doesn't mind a disgusting car is not going to enjoy all the beauty that has gone into Star Citizen. So that's gone. Like but that's 1/3 of the game. Like 1/3 of the game right now is just the beauty of walking around these environments, these planets, and this atmosphere and all that stuff. So that's gone. He doesn't have this. Then he doesn't have the joy of unlocking areas, of feeling that he's making progress. The question then is, how do we get that and we get that by you know by setting goals for ourselves and then overcoming them. But so we do overcome challenges, but they're challenges that we set for. That's the crucial difference. Whereas Kojiro wants a challenge that's set by somebody else.
Right.
So we both want to overcome challenge, but he wants it to come from somewhere else because he doesn't have this ability inside himself to generate goals, and that's because he's Asian. That's why the Asians still haven't made an open world game 25 years after, a quarter of a century after Grand Theft Auto 3. So we have to make those games for them. We have to make Ghost of Tsushima for them because they can't make it. It's not that they can't make it. Like they don't want to make it. Like they're not stupid. If we write down the steps for them, 1, 2, 3, they can do them, but they just don't want to. Like for example, imagine how an open world game is designed. You have to a linear game. You just you just design the first level, and then when he reaches the end of this corridor, then he goes the second level, and then the cutscene plays, etc. Right? But an open world game, you have to design everything at the same time. You have to design interlocking missions, and what if the player goes here, and what if the player goes there? So they don't even want to think about that stuff. Like when all these ideas come into their head, they're like, oh, that's too much energy. I don't have that energy. I'm just gonna go sleep. So if you take out of the game, and then to add to the list of all that, it's just the fact that in this fucking game, you can be going about your business and suddenly a bunch of fucking gankers ambush you and just destroy everything you've built and just send you right back to the beginning. And that is absolutely unacceptable to Asians. Absolutely unacceptable. They want to be able to build slowly and pile up one little bit of on top of each other and just build a fortune like that slowly. They don't want any setbacks. They want everything to be, and then the world is already too big for them in this game. And then when you add the fact that they have to find themselves goals, and then those goals can at any time be destroyed by anybody, it's just they see nothing in this game. And even the beauty, I don't think they even see the beauty at the end of the day to give you. And that also, I'm localizing it to races now, perhaps needlessly, because all this stuff also occurs with white, midwits basically. The midwits also, they don't want the free world. They also don't want to set their own goals. They also don't want to get pushed back and get destroyed, without. So it's just impossible. Like for the overwhelming majority of mankind, this game is just. And then if you add on top of that you need a fucking expensive PC, whereas most people just have a console. And then even when you have the expensive PC, you have to disable the fucking e-cores for it to run, and you have to. It's just impossible. It's just impossible. Like it's a miracle we even have this many players that we have.
Retrieval system. Vehicle selected. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Your personal belongings are your personal responsibility. Monitor your luggage at all times.
And ultimately, this this connects with the fact my belief that there is no place in space for non-whites. I don't think they're going to make it in space. Yeah, I don't think they're going to make it in space. It just doesn't. You know, the amount of tinkering, the amount of I think that even if the Chinese made a base in space, I think nothing will come of it. Like they don't even have this desire to build it up, to build the whole thing up. That's why you don't see them play strategy games. You know, strategy games. You know, the strategy game starts whether it's Civ or whether it's Dune or whatever, real time turn based, and they just give you one unit and like they give you one building. And I played with a black person before as real time strategy games, and you know what happened? He just landed on PA on the planet, and then he didn't build anything. He didn't scout anything. He was just asking me, so what should I do now? What should I build now? Whereas if you put a white person, and it's, you know, not all white people because there's lots of white, but if you put, you know, the moment they land on the planet, immediately they want to explore, immediately they want to build all the stuff that they can build. But you know, when did the Asian people explore anything? The most damning criticism of them is that they don't even explore the fucking internet. Like the Asian people, they just stay in the Asian ghetto. Like all the Chinese. Have you ever met a Chinese person? I've never, even on Twitter. They have their own versions of. They stay in their own little thing, and then we know more about their internet than they know about their internet. Because white people, not only do we explore our own stuff, but we explore their stuff, and then we end up knowing their stuff better than they know it.
Right.
How are these people going to make it in space where space is so inhospitable? First of all, that's why there's not going to be brown people in space, because the slightest mistake and you're all dead. So there's no way I want to be anywhere near brown people in space, or in a space colony or anything like that. And then you have the Asians where they can make it there if we give them the plans and if we kind of shame them. It's kind of, you know, when they read about the stuff in the papers that we do, then they feel ashamed and they feel, oh, we have to compete. But they don't really want to compete. If they wanted to compete, they wouldn't need, you know, the competition to compete. They would just be out there doing stuff. Like, why is it white people that scale the Himalaya? Why are we going to the top of their own mountains first? They don't have this desire to you know, to explore and to do stuff, basically, like women. So it's the same. You see the exact same behaviors duplicated in the video game. The exact same. Do you wear your helmet inside your ships, or do you wait until you have to go out to put it on?
I usually leave it on in the ship because in case there's an emergency.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But
But do you
it
think that if
depends.
you were in an actual ship, do you think that if you were in a real ship, would you wear your helmet all the time?
It depends what you're doing. Like if it's
Yeah.
stationary and everything's stable, you probably take it off. But you might
Okay.
put it on for flight.
Definitely, you would have it on in the fighter. If it's in the fighter, you'll have it on.
Yeah.
But if you're in the Corsair, you know, where you have a mess hall and you have your bunk and you know, you have a fucking shower, then one thing that bothers me is that if you're using two sticks, all of these ships. Have you seen any ship with two sticks?
Normally you get the extra things from pedals. So an actual aircraft has pedals.
It
That's
doesn't
where you
have two
get. That's
sticks.
uh. Well, all I know is that the twist axis, I'm pretty sure you normally get from. Actually, no, that's actually just from the one stick. Now that I think about it, the what they call rudder pedals for the yaw control. But yeah, I mean, I think even if you look at the oh no, they do actually have two. I think it's different in the game. Like the Titan I'm looking at now has two sticks, but I think a lot of the other ones that I've seen, it's one stick. This does have rudder pedals. Well, it does have pedals in it. Oh.
Well, they do sell pedals in combination with the sticks, and I wonder if the same pedals can be used for you know, for the for steering wheel. You know, you can. It'd be so cool to drive a cyclone with the steering wheel,
Yeah.
especially with the force feedback. You know, because there's force feedback steering wheels.
It's tricky though because it's harder to
Yeah,
fit in when you're not using it.
yeah, yeah,
Could
and
definitely
it
be
would be
done.
almost impossible if you're on those chairs where the whole chair moves. I think you would have to have like a second chair. You have to have one chair with the pedals and one with the sticks, and you have to like jump between them. So as your character moves from the ship to the cyclone, you would have to physically get up out of your chair and move to another chair, which actually adds to the immersion. You could put the other chair like in your garage or something, and you would actually have to walk. Or even better, listen to this. You get off your chair, which controls the ship. Then you put on yourself a backpack with a virtual reality system that simulates how far is the cyclone to walk from your ship, and then you have to walk that far, and that's where the other crazy stuff. No, you can't do that. So I'm going back to ArcCorp with the 6 suits that I bought, and I'm up for. We can do air bounties with those air suits. Of course, you only have one, but we can just do one until you die, basically. And then we can do that. We can go racing,
I'm
or
almost at Crusader. So if it's okay, I might stop off at Grimhex, and then I'll come back.
yeah, sure. And if you find anything interesting there, let me know.
I,
And
I
we'll
think
see.
I think with the stick question, I think the reason you don't have two sticks on an aircraft is they can't just go sideways. There's no side unless it's a VTOL. There's
Oh, I
no
see.
way to just sort of just go left,
Yes.
go up.
But with the spacecraft, there will be. So
But I don't know. I wonder how they handled that on a VTOL craft. Probably have some special mode.
Quantum travel complete. Quantum travel initiated. Quantum travel complete. Quantum travel initiated. Quantum travel complete.
I can fuck around at Grimhex later. I'll just come back to Arcort. I have to refuel though. I have to fucking refuel, so do have to stop there.
Quantum travel initiated. Quantum travel complete. Quantum travel initiated. Quantum travel complete. Quantum fuel at 100%.
Going back to Arcort. Are you at... Where are you? Oh, you're
I'm
at
landing in ArcCorp in a sec with my. I just want to deliver the safely first the suit, and then I can change it whatever is needed. So the hammerhead, does it fit any ships inside it?
Quantum travel.
Not that I'm aware
Or
of, no.
vehicles?
Landing gear.
No, I don't. Maybe it has a cargo bay that could take something. When I was looking, I was more focused on the guns. I'd have to look at it again. I don't think it'll take a ship though. Maybe a snub at most.
The thing about ArcCorp is that why is all the buildings color coordinated to be red? Like, what real city everybody would agree to have like red buildings?
It's part
So
of
it
the
does look good.
part of the municipal code.
Yeah, it could be, could be. We do have this in one of the Canary Islands. You know, it's like everything's green. It's possible, but a city of 2 trillion all over the planet. When I left ArcCorp in my last trip out, usually when I leave a hangar, I just go straight up. But this time, I veer to the right or to the left, and at the same time, and from another hangar, another guy was leaving, and that's the first time I've seen it, and it's just insane that that's another person leaving from the other hangar. It just makes the whole thing feel real.
Yeah, another thing that's cool is how when you're in that hangar area, if you go sit by the chairs and you look out the window, that's the view. That's a view of like the hangar area, a hangar area. So you often see people coming in. Yeah, but it's really cool when your friend's coming in. You see your friend flying in, and then they a minute later they come out of the lift and all that.
Amazing. It's amazing. And you say that to the average person, and they don't really care. Like they don't see anything in it. They just want to, shoot some stuff. And
yeah, I got asked about this a couple of weeks back. I was out with some acquaintances from work, and they were asking me about gaming and stuff. And I was trying to explain to them, like, you can have a ship, and you can put
other ships.
You can put like a big ship, and you got people running around in the ship. In the meantime, there's a bit like an APC, and there's people in the APC, and they're just sort of like I don't think you can tell by looking in their eyes that just doesn't sort of register with them. Whereas if somebody told that to me, I'd be blown away. I'd be like, what is this game?
We haven't even seen the fucking javelin, dude. It's like a fucking, and there's even a bigger one. There's the one that's like 27 kilometers is like a city in there. I don't even know what it's called. They've barely shown it.
What's the biggest ship you reckon you could get in that? Like, you reckon it'll fit an A2 inside, or it'll fit...
I'll tell you something. That's a little weird with Star Citizen because to me it feels like everything is over designed. Like the Polaris, for example, is supposed to be a frigate or whatever, and you can only fit inside one Gladius. So wait, I buy it for $1,000 a ship in order to fit just one Gladius. Why not just fly the Gladius? Like at least put two Gladiuses in there, but no, just one Gladius. So how does that make any sense in the battlefield? Where what if I want to have 10 Gladiuses, I need 10 Polarises?
But is that a peculiarity of that particular ship, or is that...
No. Everything seems to take, like, you would think that like looking at the Cutlass Black, I would think that it could take two cyclones inside it. Why
I'm
does it
pretty
take
sure
only one?
I'm pretty sure it can fit two. It's not comfortable, but it can fit two.
Oh, yeah, we actually have to test that because that's important. You know, if you can fit two, maybe you can have, you know, also like a reconnaissance one, or you could also have like a mule.
I think you can definitely fit a cyclone and a mule. I think maybe I'm thinking of I could be thinking of the Corsair, but I'm pretty sure, because I don't think the Corsair has the side doors. I remember trying to basically fitting two cyclones into something, and one of them I had sideways pointing out the cargo door. So the way you'd get it out is you just drive it out the side. And I don't think the Corsair has that door.
You made me land manually now. This landing I did manually because
Yeah, it's all that stuff it's way easier with the sticks once you get used to it, because you can just move in. You get used to moving in any orientation, and like moving all orientations at once. The thing I find difficult with landing is making sure that the back of the ship doesn't clip the thing as you're going in. And I always have, like, to be sure, the only way I've figured out how to do that is to just use the external camera and just get the right angle.
It'd be cool if you could put the external camera on a side monitor.
Yeah, like a pip or something. I mean, not even a pip, but like in your HUD, yeah. Yeah, I'd prefer if you could land completely in first person with instruments and cameras and stuff.
Yeah, that Odyssey 200 suit. First of all, it is cool. It looks cool. And second of all, it has some of the colors are amazing. I also like the Nine Tails undersuits, the Sabine and the other one, and they're easy to find. You know, you can stock up easily on a lot of them. And actually, the Le Monde Corvus undersuit, I think that's the heavy guy's undersuit or something. That would be useful for us because it's very. But again, it's better not to use it. Well, we could use it for the Master Chiefs. So you could use that. So that is black and gray, like the stone skin, but it just looks cooler. So that would definitely be an option for us if you like it. You know which one I'm talking about, right? You must.
What's the name?
It's called Le Monde Corvus. You can't buy it. You have to find it from the Nine Tails, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember what that looks like. I know what the armor, like the outer armor, looks like. But... Are you saying it's a Nine Tails thing?
It's a Nine Tails, yeah, that's what we're getting. But you know, it's not purple or anything. It's perfect black gray, and it definitely looks like a step up from the stone skin that the. So we could put that, you know, because it's easy. Like even I've only done a couple of bunkers and I already have like 3-4 of those. But then again, you know, like if you wanna, why would the cult use the Nine Tails armor? Like if you want to stay, you know, the Nine Tails undersuit. since the Ninetales is using a custom one, you know, it doesn't make sense for us. If you want to stick to the, you know, to the lore, you know, getting frustrated by the fact that I can't resupply my ships
Yeah.
when I land them.
I really wish they'd fix that bug. It's been been in the game for ages.
I've never had it like it was extremely rare before, and now it's almost every time.
Yeah, I do think it's been worse lately.
But if you imagine the spaceport with hundreds of people, NPCs walking around, and 3-4 times the amount of players, it will be an incredible experience.
Hello. Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Landing gear deployed.
So what I'm gonna do is, so the certifications for the air bounties, what are they like? What exactly do you do?
You just gotta kill a target, pretty much.
Okay. So I'm gonna do one of those now, just because I want to use the stuff that I just bought. And also, let's see, I want to see that pistol, if I can have some. Let's see. The arclight pistol. Okay, so let me just go and see if I can buy. First of all, do I have an arclight pistol? Already, I do have an arclight pistol, a black one. I have the executive edition pistol, but I'm not going to use it because, you know, it's going to get lost. That would actually look good with my.
Engines offline.
For now, I'm just going to put the arclight pistol there, the normal one, and just. I think that as a pilot, why would you not use an oxypen? You know, like what if something happens? I think a pilot would need an oxypen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to equip one oxypen and one medpen. And as for ammo on your, let me see about that. So the arclight pistol uses, I think it uses batteries or something. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in the city and see if I can buy some ammo for the arclight.
Just sent you a party invite.
Um,
This is the wrong train if you're trying to go to the plaza.
the wrong train.
It's this one if you want to go to the plaza.
I'm fairly sure I've taken that train a bunch of times to go back.
Yeah, but
though,
it's
because it
like the
does-
long way round. It'll go to another station first.
Is that you?
Yeah. I'm sitting down.
Oh. I should've gone right there.
Yeah, I like that the red and gold on that suit.
Yeah, it's just so classy, the colors, and I'll show you with the yellow. You wouldn't think this is one of these, like, it would never occur to me to use a yellow helmet, but it just looks stunning. And I didn't come up with it myself. I saw it, I think it was an ad or something.
Nice.
Yeah. So he put on himself two. He has a spot for two pistols. So that means you get 90 shots. Pretty cool.
What's the pistol for? Is it the arc light?
Yeah, quite, yeah.
Okay, I don't think you can buy that here.
No, only the batteries, the shots. So go ahead and buy a bunch of those. If you don't have right now an arc light pistol, I don't think I have one to give you. So just take any pistol. If we're going for, unless you have something else, I'm up for pretty much anything.
Okay. Let's.
See, the Arclight Executive with its gold accents would look great with this armor. With this, but I only have one. So. What do you want to do?
One moment. Alright, cool. Yeah, I mean, we could just do, if you want to get your bounty level up, we could go, you could get the Scorpius, I could get the, Super
Let's do
Hornet.
that. Okay. So let's just play one life. See how far we get. The interesting thing about the helmet in this is that you don't have a backpack to put it in, so you cannot, once you get on the ship, oh, let me look at yours. Let me look at yours, so let's see how they look next to each other. Z. Alright, yeah, so they look, what I would like in yours is more white. So he has a bunch of black patches. And
There's another undersuit actually. Where is it? So there's this one. Oh, that has more. That has more black, I guess.
Yes, that's the one I'm wearing under my armor, under my normal armor. And what name is this? What is the name of that?
It's the TCS4 undersuit Arctic.
I see. So, and what helmet will we use this? Try the white helmet and see what it looks like. I think you can get this this undersuit from Copy Blast that you're wearing.
Doesn't it?
It looks good. Let me work on it. The one you have now isn't really white. It's like more grayish, but because your undersuit does have gray bits, it looks good. I'm torn about it because that's the one I'm also wearing under my main armor, and I would like to make the characters distinct. So for now, switch to the other one.
Can you buy this? Oh, it's back, yeah. Hey, it disappeared from my inventory for a minute.
You definitely. What were you gonna take? You take the Hornet?
Yeah.
So Struben was asking me. He said, "Okay, we're gonna have to wear the regulation in the game when we play with 2 players. But what about the vehicles? Do we also have to take the So, for example, for him, his fighter is the Gladius. But what if he wants to take a Scorpius? What if he wants to take? And that's a good question, because lots of you guys have a lot of ships. So you would be confined to. Not only would you be confined to lower value ships, but you would also that would reduce the incentives for you to spend more money buying more ships. What's the point of buying more ships if you can't use them?
Right.
So it was a hard, because you bought the Hammerhead, for example, but the Hammerhead is only in my spec. It's not even in, if you look at the spec, the only one who has the Hammerhead is mine. So
I also think
I didn't have it. Go ahead.
I also think with the space missions, like the cap for the equipment that's needed when you do like the high bounties is a lot higher. Like with the high bounties, I might not even try to do that with the Super Hornet. I might need to use a bigger ship for that.
See, my idea is that if I built this spec with the idea that eventually I'm going to have a few dozen people. So if I do have, let's say, 2 dozen people, and they're all in the game at the same time, that would mean that we would have 5 Super Hornets and 15 Gladiuses and a couple of Hammerheads, and then you can take on whatever you want.
Yeah.
So I cannot build the spec with for 4 people, or I cannot build it for 8 people. I have to build it to the top, and then what we do is, we just compromise. So I think that for the time being, the compromise with the ships is that if you're playing in a daily basis, and if you have 2, 3 players in, etc., try to use your ranks, vehicles. But
Yeah.
if the mission can't be done, or if you just you're tired of because he bought an Eclipse, and the Eclipse definitely is not in his rank. The bomber would be like something like the Gladiator. So he has the Eclipse. The Eclipse is awesome. He obviously wants to use the Eclipse. So take the Eclipse. Take the Eclipse. But again, take it at least with the correct paint. Which right? I think the Eclipse, the standard paint will be the black anyway. So he doesn't have to do anything there. But at the very least, make sure when you take a vehicle, make sure it's the correct paint, and then it will look good, even though it won't be perfect. But then, generally speaking, yeah. Because look, I could take a Carrack in every mission. Why are we taking the Cutlass Black when we could take a Carrack? Well, first of all, the Carrack, you spend a shitload of money on gas, pretty much. You would not make no money with these low level missions. So if you take the Carrack, so that's one thing. But other than that, I take the lower level. Like even me, like in my spec, when I fly the Cutlass, there's no Cutlass in my spec.
Right.
So I'm already there's no Cyclone in my spec. The vehicle is the Nova. So why am I taking a Cyclone? So
It's tricky though, because like there's almost so that spec is more like that's the fire team spec, right? Whereas the other one is more like a squadron spec.
Exactly. And as you go up, I mean, I have the Javelin in my spec, so I should be in the Javelin's office and just not moving out from there, and that would be a very fun game for me. So that also, we're clashing with the games. The fact that the game can go from a strategy to all the way to just like hand mining, to all the way like being in prison. So
Yeah.
I should have a prison for the Supreme Commander. When he goes to prison, you should have the prison spec.
But it does make sense because the Cutlass spec is more or less is more what you'd use naturally if you're just sort of going around doing ground missions on an everyday basis. It's what you would use anyway. Like that's what I've been using. I usually not always, but I often put a Cyclone in, so it's pretty close to what you don't need to be told to use it necessarily. It's very natural to use it.
It's natural, and it feels good because you don't want to have to. The bigger the bigger the ship, the worse it handles.
Yeah.
And it's just a bad experience if you need to land on roofs and navigate all this stuff. The spec is, and even in dynamic events, we take whatever we can take to have better chances.
Yeah.
The spec is a good general guideline, and it's going to work better the more people we have.
Yeah.
Because if you have a lot of people, then first of all, I would like to see. What I don't like? I don't like to see like 6 guys and everyone has a different ship, because that doesn't look like a military. A military looks like you have 3, 4 guys have the same ship, and then 1 or 2 guys have different ships. Right now we're at the point where we have more commanders than troops, which is another thing that looks stupid. Because when I was giving out the commander roles, obviously you're going to give it to the people who are more invested. And the people who are more invested are those who play more. So you end up having in some missions, 3 commanders commanding 1 trooper. Which looks stupid, But what are you gonna do? Like, you have to. I could have made just 1 guy commander, and then I would have had more troops. But that commander would not show up in every event. So then I would end up in some events with no commanders. So in order for me to ensure that I will have at least 1 commander, then I had to make at least 3. Or for example, Shub maybe should be a commander now with everything he's putting in the game. But if he's a commander, then we have 4 commanders. Then who's going to be the troops? So it's complicated, and it's all going to get fixed as we get more people. And as you saw, we got that guy yesterday. I don't know if that guy is going to work out, but at least it's all. I got that guy with like almost 0 effort. I just sent out 3 messages, and 1 of them hit back. And since then, I've sent another 3 messages. I haven't had any reply yet from those. But You know, if I put a lot of effort into it, I have no doubt I can get 10, 20 people in here. Oh, look at this guy. Let's go. What's he wearing?
It's not sure what the core is. It's a mixture of stuff. The backpack goes well with his helmet.
Yeah. The backpack I've never seen before.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
What? Let's go to the where is it? Which way is it? That way.
It's this way. Yeah, what you were saying before about the ship specs. My interpretation was that the fire team spec is if you are making a fire team. So if you're making that kind of thing. But if you were like doing if you were going to do, because you can do courier missions where there are a bunch of deliveries, I wouldn't see that as applicable. I would there'd be another spec, like it hasn't been done yet, but there'd be another spec for courier stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, for courier, you know what I would use? I would use for industry. Well, I have several. Like I like to pair like for example with the Nomad, I like to pair the STV, because the Nomad and the STV, you know, they're not combat vehicles. And if you're doing mining, I would pair the Nomad with the Rock. So either Nomad with Rock for mining, or for some recon or long range deliveries. You know, if you have to drive a lot. And then for my main deliveries, though, you know, I actually like to deliver with the mule. I take the package, I put it on the mule, and then I drive the mule, and then I take the package out for no reason. I just love the mule. It's one of my favorite vehicles. So I put the mule on the cutter, because they look perfectly matched. The cutter and the mule are perfectly, you know, their aesthetics are perfectly matched. So, you know, that will be the delivery, but delivery usually will be just solo. Yeah, you will never have like 3-4 people doing deliveries.
Yeah.
Although keep in mind that with the piracy increasing, you go out to deliver, if you go out to deliver a package for 3,000 AUEC, and then they kill you, and you lose way more on your equipment than 3,000. So even delivering a package, I don't see how you can deliver a package with pirates around unless there's good policing. Unless you stick to routes that are well policed. But right now, because the AI sucks, well, it's not the AI that sucks. It's the tick rate of the server. That means that I mean, if you're flying a Hull C, yeah, you're gonna get a couple of fighters to help. But if you're just delivering a package for 3,000 UAC, you're not gonna hire fighters to. So it's not delivering small packages is just not.
Yeah.
You know, although I'm gonna do it because I want to get the rep and I want to see the missions, etc. But they have to fix this. They need better policing to make the cheap deliveries viable.
Right.
But exactly, it's like you said. There will be more specs. And but at the moment, you know, I don't want to flood. Now. At the moment, I want to have the basic ones with a pilot, and then and I mean the industrial specs. Actually, for industrial stuff, I would rather let people do whatever the fuck they want, wear whatever the fuck they want. The problem is, what if it's mixed? Like, for example, that mission, in the wake of disaster, it's a mixed industrial and military, because you know you're going there to salvage, so you need the salvage gear, but you also need fighters and people with armor and all that stuff.
But you can do it like the military, right? So you can say, okay, we have like a fire team to do the defense. That's like two, 3 people. And then you have some other unit, and so you can actually start having like proper units you mix and match.
Yes, I see what you're saying. And the other units will be wearing industrial gear, right?
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that what if the industrial guys need to jump into the fight and jump into a turret? In reality, they would not do that, probably, because they wouldn't even know how to use the turret, I guess. But it gets complicated. I think that in that mission, we would just all suit up full for war. And it's just that some of us, the warriors, would just operate the the salvage. And then that means you can also change. So if you get bored, if the mission is 2 hours,
Thank you.
and you get bored.
Sorry, I think I have to change my I think I have to change the loadout on the Super Hornet.
Why? What did it have?
It has ballistics, which are they just go dry after like 2-3 targets. It doesn't take long, but I have to go back to center mass.
Oh, I see.
By the way, with the cutter for courier stuff,
Be sure to check
um,
departure and arrival
that looks very
at
good,
conveniently
but it's very
located
bad in the
spaces.
atmosphere. Like it has huge drag, like the Cutlass does, but the Cutlass has massive engines, and the cutter doesn't. And for courier stuff, that tends to be important. You need to be able to fly quickly in the atmosphere.
So what would you prefer for a courier?
The Titan is still the best for that, I think.
I see. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that unless I get to a mission that I just simply cannot complete with the cutter.
Right.
You think that's possible, that there are missions that you
No,
just
no.
can't?
It just means you might have to refuel more, and it might take longer to land.
I see. So you see this flight suit that I'm wearing now with the yellow helmet. On its own, it looks great. But next to my preferred paint for the Scorpius, because the Scorpius, the preferred paint is black with orange. So you have orange and then you have yellow. That doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So I would have to, ideally, there is another one that has orange. There's another flight suit that has orange accents. That would be perfect, but only for the ship and this paint. And then for other ships and for other paints, it wouldn't. So if it was just me, then I would just have all of them, and I would just pick for every mission, etc. But what if at any point a player could? First of all, that's a bad example because you're telling people you can only have one color, but I can have all the colors. So that's a bad example. But it's also the problem that you can be joined at any time by people. So even if, okay, you're solo and you think I can wear any colors that I want, and then you're in the middle of the mission and somebody jumps in the voice channel and says, I'm going to join you. And now, what are you going to do? How are you going to change in mid-flight? So there's a lot of little problems like this. We're going to do our best. There's no perfect solution.
Tram now leaving the station. Stand clear of the doors.
I'm just going to fly above Arcorp for a while until you're
Station.
ready.
Stand clear of the doors.
All right.
Stand clear. Passengers. Keep conversations and mobiglass to a reasonable volume. And share space with other travelers. Remember, we're all taking this journey together.
Okay, I think I must have already switched it. So that's all fine. Just need to come back. Do you want to share your certification?
Waiting passengers should be
Yep, that's
mindful
what I'm gonna
of the
do.
platform's edge. Strong winds can arise suddenly.
I have to wait about a minute for the train. Shuttle.
City Flight reminds you that when trash goes in the bin, we all win. Your help keeps our court clean.
So I'm gonna share it now.
Trav now approaching.
Got it.
So another thing I want to say about the bounty hunters is, you know, the Hawk, the ship, the Hawk. The Hawk is made for bounty hunters because it has a tractor beam and he has a freaking jail pod. So I was thinking at some point that I want to buy the Hawk to do the bounty hunting missions with it, but I'm thinking, if the bounty hunting missions scale and then you need a freaking hammerhead for them, then what's the point of the Hawk? You see what I'm saying?
Waiting passengers.
I think it's in some cases you have to apprehend them. Maybe, and I don't know if they've implemented that yet. But I assume in some cases you're just not meant to just blow them up, and so you might need a special
Hawk
ship.
is a bounty hunter's ship specifically for apprehension, and then for blowing up, then it doesn't make any sense for bounties to. Well, in the real world, when there's a bounty, it's like you're supposed to bring him back alive to stand trial.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to kill people because we're a democracy. But they definitely want, they're making jails now law offices, and they've actually shown the actual jails where you push. You've seen Star Wars when they encase Han Solo in ice, and then it floats. His cell floats, and it's like a trolley that floats, and you push it.
Yeah.
And so they've shown video where there will be law offices everywhere. There will be law offices in jails and space stations, and so you're supposed to apprehend them. And I suppose that first you disable their ship, then you board it.
It's tricky with players though, because
Now arriving.
they can't force players to be taken
Stay in
alive,
jail, yeah.
or to even be
Well,
taken alive. Like they can do some wild stuff, like just blow themselves up or ram you.
Yeah. As far as logging off, though, they solved this by okay, you log off, but now AI takes over your character, so I can arrest it.
Ah, okay.
That's something that they have solved.
Oh, so that's what that does now. The because that used to, is that implemented now?
I think it's implemented at least to an extent.
Okay, yeah, that's cool because there's a mission where you have to capture players, and they just kept
The
logging off.
ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Common laws are still in effect.
They could go as far as taking control of the player so that you can arrest
Vehicle
him.
selected. Welcome.
When you get to a certain condition, you get close enough to, then they just take over, and from your perspective, you won't be able to tell the difference
Obey
Yeah.
all
if they want to. And
I mean, you could have like a utility gun.
job is yours.
You shoot people with it, it immobilizes them, and then you use
yeah,
you use the
yeah,
tractor.
yeah, definitely they have stuff like that coming in the horizon. I've seen models of all sorts of weird energy guns, and
It's pretty crazy how that works. Like, because I've already, not even intentionally, sort of captured a guy using the tractor beam when I took his stuff. It's like you were
But
saying
the guy
before.
has-
It's like what you were saying before, how because they have so many mechanics, it's like it's easy for them to find a way out or to solve
yes, because
problems.
they have so many tools. They have so many tools, right? And some cases, I was reading the other day, because they are bringing in fishing mechanics, and one guy said, maybe we can do it now. You shoot the fish, and then you tractor beam it out.
Takeoff complete.
Or for example, those derelict settlements that are adding to all the systems. And there was a developer, who was explaining, how they made them and all that. And he was saying that he was saying that there will be NPCs of those derelict settlements, and the settlements are built around ships that have crashed. So you fly around and your ship crashes for some reason, and then he says that the people just, they build a little shelter and they wait to get rescued, and they might take years to get rescued. But then on Reddit they said, why would they take years to get rescued? You're in Stanton. It's a lawful system. You're like, the next planet over has 2 trillion people. Why would you have to wait for years? On Microtech, for example, which is a planet the size of Canada, why would you wait years? Like, you just call somebody and they just come get you, like in half an hour. Why would you wait 2 years? Like, waiting 2 years maybe sounds okay in Pyro, but not in Stanton. And
Right.
there's some other stuff too that's like for example, Stanton is supposed to be this system where the sun has solar flares and it scorches the planet's surface, etc., etc. But that was the lore that it would be like a destroyed system or whatever. But now you see like green plants on some of the planets, and they don't look destroyed at all. So they could always there are some inconsistencies like that that they could always just adjust the lore, but not all of it is. Definitely, the players are poking. There's holes. If you're looking for holes, you'll find holes, and you don't even have to look for them. Just read Reddit, and there's so many people posting there. They, and they play so long, and they're so intelligent. They will find all the holes.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's impossible to. Nietzsche explained that in fiction, any kind of fiction, it's impossible for it to not have holes. Because then it will be reality. Reality doesn't have holes. So
Right.
reality doesn't matter how much you zoom in, it's always consistent. But something that we have built on top of reality cannot be consistent. Cannot be, because because you're simplifying things. So when you're simplifying things, it cannot be consistent. The same happened with Pathfinder. They were talking about something, I think prices, like the economy in Pathfinder, like the magic item economy or stuff like that. And after a while, one guy said, look, if you look closely enough, the whole thing collapses. You don't even have to look that closely enough. So at the end of the day, if you want to have fun, stop looking that closely.
Right.
Don't analyze fucking Pathfinder as if it's reality. Although analyzing it is how we got to making it in the first place. So you do have to, ask for more. You do have to ask for more complexity, for more. But at some point, there has to be a limit. And of course, the limit is the intelligence of the species. So I'm sure that a more intelligent species, with higher processing capacity, they will play more complex games.
I'm ready to go to the target, by the way.
Right, so I'm in the ship. Let me look at the I have crime stat 1, but it doesn't seem to be affecting anything right now.
It's weird that you can accept a bounty mission with crime stat.
Yeah. I think they made the 1 and 2 be like parking tickets.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's why.
So does it affect anything at all, or can it just keep carrying it around?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the implication is. I don't think you mustn't go red. I mean, we'll see that, whether that's true. Maybe they just haven't implemented that yet. Like, there'll be some consequence later. Let me know when you're ready to quantum.
I might have a problem here. I'm looking at my ship, and okay, there's the turret. Okay, it should be fine. Right, so we're not close to each other, so we may as well quantum, right? Or can we quantum even if we're far away from each other? How does it work?
I still haven't figured that out. Normally we just like verbally synchronize it. Like everybody ready to go, okay.
I see. But even if we're in different planets, we can fly.
Yeah, I'm not exactly
So-
sure how you get that little, because it's like I said, there's a little thing that comes up. I'm not sure if there's a condition where you have to be close to each other. Definitely have to be in the same party. Um, there must be some proximity thing, because we tried it the other day and it told me you were synchronizing, but you didn't show up in the checklist.
Okay, I'm gonna fly to Grimhex to start with because that's around where he is, right? How else would I do it? Because I don't think I can fly to him. And it's refusing to
Yeah, so I think when we get there, we're gonna have to go round the planet first. So if you go to like comma array ST2-55, that should probably be able to get to it from there. You can set
I'm
that route.
starting out just flying straight to Crusader.
I can't set that either. Okay, so you can go to Cellin first. And you'll definitely should be able to get from that side of Cellin, you should be able to get to Yellow. Just add like 30 seconds to the trip. You can also use the... That's another thing, I wish there's an easier way to get the orbital markers, because they don't appear on the map, and they're not marked out very easily when you're just sort of looking around, because they're important for getting around some of these problems.
Yeah, I don't understand the use of those markers at all. Like,
It's-
even if something is behind something, you should just let me, the ship should automatically just quantum around the thing.
In principle, yeah, it doesn't make sense, because you can usually you can often go places without, like you're saying, it just flies around the planet. So yeah.
I don't know if there's a programming reason that they put them in, or if they just want to give you some reason to like input more stuff on your own. I don't know. The Scorpius was the thing that made me start spending money on Star Citizen ships. And when I saw this thing, I had to have it. And at the time, you couldn't buy it in game. And there was also the Stinger paint, which you cannot buy it in game. Again, you had not even in the store. You had to buy it in the gray market. So when I saw that thing, and then once you bought one thing, that's it. You
Yeah.
start buying stuff.
Yeah, like when I bought some small stuff.
I think first of all, you bought the Avenger. Instead of buying the cheapest package, you bought a slightly more expensive package.
Yeah.
About half the people did what you did. About half the people bought, 1/3 of the people, half the people bought the Titan instead of the cheap ships. And it made sense in the beginning. Though for me, it didn't make sense because I didn't understand the game yet. And I thought, okay, I just want to make the money to get the Titan. But on the other hand, when you have a whole clan and you're thinking we're taking all this difficult dynamic events, I would like my group to. So it does make sense. And it did help us. It did help us because the Titan could take the buggy, so we could land.
Yeah.
Because we were getting shot right over jump down. Jump down was the first thing we actually tried to do. It's funny because it's the toughest thing in the game. That was the first thing, because it just happened that the same weekend that we started playing, there was a jump down.
Right.
So at least with the Titan, because if we didn't have the Titan, we would have had to play a lot of missions to get a Titan.
Yeah. It's pretty expensive. It's like what, 800k or something? 700, 800k?
And then even that, okay, so we play a bunch of missions, we get the Titan, but who gets it? Because we don't know when the next jump down is going to be, and we don't know who's going to be playing at the time.
Yeah, but I guess what I mean was, when I started buying other things in the store, I bought some cheap stuff, But the thing that changed it, like my mentality was, I'll just buy it and the clan can have it, and I don't really care. But when I bought the A2, then I got a taste for like owning things. Like I got a real
Yes,
taste of
yes,
like, okay, I want this on my account. I want to have like,
yes,
and I want to buy like all these things.
yes,
There's a
yes.
certain
And
threshold where you go over and you're like, you get the taste for it.
yeah, you really do feel like you want something. And the thing that I'm going to explain is that you will never have in your life, I don't care how many years you live, and how much money you have, you will never have in your life vehicles anywhere near as close as these. I don't care if you buy the Tesla, Cybertruck, or whatever you think Ferrari. Ferrari's garbage compared to the fucking Corsair. There's nothing, I tell you, so the closest thing is like a super yacht. If you buy a super yacht, that will be about, but it doesn't fly. It doesn't go to space. So that's why people are paying all this money, because not only that, but you will never, even if you buy a super yacht, what are you going to do with it? You're going to go around the planet, but you're never going to do a jump down. You're never going to go to Pyro. You're never going to build a base. So that's why people spend all that money, because there's nothing else in life or in games that is as cool. Honestly, like, because I have in my time, I've ridden some. Well, cars are expensive, but motorcycles are not that expensive, and I have had the most expensive motorcycles on the planet. I had the Ducati 916 and Acusta MBF4. These two are the only motorcycles that are like in the Guggenheim Museum. If you Google them, they're like works of art, And I was riding them for years in England, and so I haven't had a Ferrari, but I did have the Tomb Raider Land Rover, the one that Angelina Jolie had in the movie, so that was awesome too. But I'm telling you that the coolest car you can buy, if you gave me on the one side the coolest car you can buy, or you gave me a the 27 kilometer, or even the Javelin, I would take the Javelin. Like when I'm saying it, not if you gave me the money. Obviously, if you gave me the money for the Ferrari, then I would just buy a cheaper Ferrari and the Javelin. But if you gave me the only chance, like if you told me you can have a Ferrari, but then you will never be able to play Star Citizen, with an organ, with all that stuff, and or you can have a Kraken in Star Citizen, so you can go to Pyro with it and make it base. Then I would say, fuck Ferrari, what the fuck? So for me, this stuff is worth more than the Ferrari is about $250,000, right? So for me, that stuff is definitely worth more than $250,000, because I've ridden amazing cars and motorcycles, and it's amazing, but it's not as amazing as being in this world and driving all this stuff with your friends and building all this stuff. So and at least I had the opportunity to drive super bikes and expensive cars, but most of the players, they don't have that opportunity. So for them, these ships are even more important. Well, it depends. Many players in Star Citizen are well off, but there's also many players who are just like me, just spending their rent money really. And it does make sense. Like it definitely, it makes sense to live in the real world on a cheaper apartment, so that you can afford, in ArcCorp, a huge apartment with like a piano and views over the city. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It definitely makes sense. If they told you that apartment is like $200 a month, so that your real apartment is gonna be $200 cheaper, it definitely makes sense. Or that you would have to live, in a worse city or. So I'm in Crusader now.
25Ks, oh no, 35Ks from the target.
Yeah, he's very near here. So, okay, I'm gonna go to the moon. He won't even zoom in on the moon. Okay, maybe I can. What happens if I jump to you, but while I'm jumping to you, you jump elsewhere?
I assume you just go to where I was. That we haven't tested. Well, I haven't tested that. I'm stationary at the moment though. Just waiting. Since we were about to fly into an asteroid field, do you have the ping It's because you're using keyboard. You can just press tab, right?
The ping. What ping?
I think it's called the radar ping. That's really important for asteroid fields because you get a real sense for like the depth.
You
Like
mean the tab key?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's just one tab key. It's not. There's nothing else, right?
yeah.
Right now, anything I'm clicking on in that vicinity, I cannot jump to right now. Like it doesn't focus on anything. So I'm just gonna keep. Let me try Grimhex.
So I went to, I think it's, which one is it? Selen first, and then I went to this, and that fixed it.
Is that the other moon? Oh, that's
Yeah.
the other moon. Right. Okay, let's do that then. Another cool thing about Chris Roberts' past is that when he starts making this game, because he's been remaking this game since the 90s. So let's say when he starts making the game and he needs some initial missions, he just uses the missions. He's been developing them for 2 decades. So he's tried. You have Privateer, you have Privateer 2, then you have Freelancer, and then so he knows what missions are. A lot of the systems he already has them. And obviously he makes them more complex, he adds stuff to them, but he doesn't start from scratch at all. For me, I'm just discovering them because I never played those games. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now I'm jumping onto you. Alright, so I'm here now, and let's see where that guy is. So can we jump to his left? No, oh no, I have another jump to make. Imagine being Pyro, and you run out of suits, and then now you have to go back to Stanton to buy some suits. So you're like, see you guys on Sunday.
They do have
Right, we're now-
vendors though, right?
Yeah, but would they have the exact suit that you need for your spec?
Just like, watch out, you're going very fast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right, you're right. I've never really flown in an asteroid. So he's gonna be inside the asteroid?
Yeah, what we should do is lead him out. Because when you're flying around in these fields, it's almost impossible. Like, if you're going sideways and stuff, it's almost impossible.
I'm gonna... Oh, I hit... Okay, I'm dead. I hit an asteroid. That's... Alright, well, what if you take care of the... what if you take him down? Do I get the...
Yeah, you should.
Okay, great. Let's go ahead and do it. And, okay, I'll go to the toilet. I'll be back in a sec.
Alright.
Target destroyed. quantum drive is now off. Landing gear deployed. Quantum fuel is at 100%.
I'm back.
Oh, just refueled.
Have you finished the mission?
Oh yeah, I killed him. I'm refueled at Grimhex. It's pulling out now.
Let me see. Let me see if it says that the mission is completed. Training permit complete. I did it. I did it. Right. So what do we do now? You don't have another flight suit, right?
Well, I'm alive. Oh, I'm alive, so I don't need another one.
You're alive. So, well, let me see. So can you take better bounties than me?
I haven't built my level up since the reset, but I think what it looks like is I just have to do the certifications again. I think it's really weird the way it's happening, because if we look in Delphi for the Bounty Hunter guild, I have the same level in the guild, but I got no rep, and I don't have these certifications. So we just have to go through and do the certifications.
I see. Yeah.
I'm up to... Actually, don't have a lot on there at the moment.
What is your rank?
Level 3.
Guild member.
Let me check.
That's the highest
Yeah.
you've reached?
Oh no, sorry, senior guild member. Level 4.
Okay. So I'm level 2, junior guild. Well,
So if I do my certifications, we can take higher level bounties and I can share them with you, and that will level your bounty level. I think it levels it a lot quicker that way. 'Cause I think they're worth more.
we may as well keep playing as long as you have your suit and you haven't been killed. So I'm just going to suit up.
Yes, this one that I've got now is for MRTs. Which are like the medium level.
Though I don't have an arc-light pistol. But I'm quite cool with having the pistol be optional. At least for now.
Quantum drive is now on. Landing gear raised.
Yeah, if you're in Area 18, it's probably better for me to do the certification here myself, because that saves you coming to Crusader. Because there's MRTs back there, but the certification can only be done in one spot.
I can just do my own, a mission here while I wait for you.
Yep. Need to figure out how the missiles work,
Quantum drive is now on.
because they changed it.
I had trouble even firing a.
Well, I think in terms of firing them, I think there's a bug, because it just goes, it'll lock on and then it'll just stay red. But I more mean in terms of evading them.
Quantum drive is now off.
Oh, and I'm probably gonna have to wait like half an hour for the freaking. For the. Well, I have two. That's why I have two Scorpiuses, so I can use the Antares. What happens when you're rich?
Lock. Lock. Lock.
Son of a bitch.
I'm gonna use a Night Stalker pistol, and because I got a bunch of those. That was the one before I. I'm going to use the arc light in all the specs. So I haven't done this yet. So for the time being, using it on the normal, but eventually, because it just makes sense. The arc light makes sense. Plus, it comes in a lot of colors. So there's appropriate colors for all the specs. So we'll just unify that. It just makes sense. I don't know though, because Troop seems to base choices of guns on just which one has more bullets, and there have to be other criteria, but I can't be bothered to look at them myself.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
So I can be sitting in a desk, taking missions, sharing them with people. The people finish the missions, and I never get out of my desk.
Yeah. Not all missions are shareable. But
Okay. Target destroyed.
What kind of missions are unshareable? Investigations and stuff.
I don't remember. Like, I don't think the priority missions are usually shareable.
You think that if you had started playing the game back when there was just one moon, you would still be playing?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what state the game was in.
You know, it's just a moon, and it's a sport Olisar, for example. I think that was the first thing that went in the game. Yeah. First it was Port Olisar, and there were only space missions. So you spawn on Port Olisar, you get on your ship, you fight some bounties, and then that's it. That's all there is. And then 2 years later, there's a moon, and now you can fly your ships. And I think that happened with 3. With 3 is when they got basically ground.
I mean, I guess it depends what the rate of improvement was. Like, if you start like that and then 6 months later there's a lot more.
There were definitely periods that they felt like dead periods, and people thought that the project was dying. There was even like a period of about a year where their revenues were going down from the year before. So if you just looked at the graph, you would think this game is definitely dying.
Right.
And there were videos where they were saying, because they got stuck. They tried several different technologies for and then some of them just didn't work out, and that obviously slowed down development. And then somewhere around, I don't know what it was, 2018, it just started taking off, and that's when I started seeing some cool videos. It's just that back then I was still waiting for the game to be finished. Like, I had no idea how the scope of the game, so in my mind it's like, okay, let's wait a few more years until it'll be finished. But you know, now I realize, you know, it's retarded to, you know, it's never going to be finished, etc., etc. So, and then what happened was, like, 1 year ago I saw the trailer for 317.2, and that trailer looked like a complete game. Like, it looked like it has so much content, so many missions. That was the first time. All the videos I'd seen before, they were just like videos of like locations, not promotional, like for missions that look like Halo. So when I saw that there was just so much content to play, I thought, okay, we have to play this.
I mean, I think the state the game's in now, it's already, like, it's not complete to his whole, like, Chris Roberts' vision, but it's a complete game aside from the bugs and stuff.
But the thing is, his vision changes.
Yeah.
when he finds more stuff that can be done. So even his vision isn't really a vision. It's like, I would say it's a direction. Let's go in that direction.
Yeah.
And then even he can't see what's over the next hill, you know?
Yeah. Still on my way back to R-Corp, and we should be able to do some MRTs.
I'm just getting in the Scorpios right now.
You know those creatures in the caves, have they been implemented? Are they in the game?
They're in the game. They just don't move around.
Ah,
They just, like, you know, they just stay there because, you know, the server is already loaded with the AI, and they don't want to add even more AI just for the creature to just move around in a circle or whatever.
Right.
So for the time being, but it's definitely the first creature in the verse. So it's the first alien creature, the first animal.
That derelict that you were on Daymar, that you were at the other day, was that part of a mission? Like how
That
how did you
was
find it?
I think that was a mission to find. There was a, I can't remember now if it was a bounty. I don't think it was a bounty. It was maybe a security mission. Yeah, it was a mission. They sent us there. I think that in those there's multiple missions that take you to those places. There's not just
Right.
one. There's multiple missions. Plus, there is your own exploration and looting. Like you can find stuff if you get to the bottom or whatever. Or if you get inside the wrecks.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back there at some point.
So that's why, because you don't know which missions are going to take you where, and there's 3 or 4 of those places, and there's also other cool places. Like for example, there was one mission that Rico took him to to a skyscraper in Arcop. I think that might be the one you did. But now that we have the new Lorville, they've built a lot of landing pads on top of buildings. So there's also missions that take you there. So I don't think you can pick and match. Like you have to, if you want to see everything, all the cool stuff that they build, you need to. You need all.
Just gonna go get some water.
Quantum fuel is at 50%.
Back.
So my next certification is a guy who last known position was in a cave in Calliope. So I thought we have to go in a cave. I don't know. But
That
maybe
means it's a cave mission.
really. So we can't do it with the ships, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna abandon it. So I can't run cop until I do that, I suppose.
No,
Or if I
there's
check
different.
later, maybe
There should be different ranks. So those ones are not. They're not.
Is now
They're bounty missions. There's like a different track. It should be. So there should be a certification. That's another certification.
Let's see. Okay, let me check it out. First of all, I abandoned this. General, bounty hunter. I see what you're saying. Verified freelancer bounty assessment. Yeah, this is also like this is a guy on a hydro farm. Another one, active bounty evaluation.
That's another Microtech one. Sorry, that's another ground one.
No.
So I think the ones that are let me see what I have. Yeah, there should be. If you look at the From field, it should be Bounty Hunters Guild.
I found one. Suspect apprehension certification. And
Right.
that gives me 10,000.
Okay, so that one is player one. That one's can be very hard. But maybe they logged off. Sorry, maybe they fixed the combat login issue. Maybe that one's fine. But it's not the next easiest from VLRT, which is what you just did.
What's the next easiest?
I don't know what it's called because I don't have it on the tab, but sorry, in my tabs. Let me try to figure it out. Scenery.
And they're giving me all over the system. Why don't they give me something around Narcos?
So some of them are related to ground missions on those in those particular areas. You just have to ignore them. But the actual bounties you get should be from the local area. Having said that, I'm not seeing any. Like, I should be seeing MRTs and things, and I'm not seeing any for some reason. Like, you should be seeing VLRTs in there.
No, I'm not seeing anything like that. It's hard to tell because some of these they don't explain if it's gonna be ground or air, so I don't know what to take.
Yeah, you have to you have to read the descriptions, and even then, it's like
Even
yeah.
then,
So
no,
like one says
doesn't-
it's really obscure. Like this one says they're believed to be hiding over. Well, see, it says over at, not over. Over at Lost and Found. What does that mean? Like, is that a base?
Right, I'm taking the 10,000 one. At least we know that that's in the air.
Okay. Wait a
sharing
minute.
it.
Is it suspect apprehension?
Yes.
That one, if it's that's a player, I think. Just let me double
Alright,
check.
let's do it.
Yeah, it's definitely a player. So we have to find him on the sky map.
You know, but just by his name, you know,
Yeah.
Fuzz Courage.
So he's in Hurston, or was last seen. Okay, was at Everest Harbor in Hurston.
What if he just lands and goes in his bed or something?
I don't know. I mean, that's what often happens. They combat log.
But what if it's not combat log? He just wants to go to sleep.
He won't be allowed to
Just
do
wants
that because in Everest Harbor, because he's a criminal.
I see.
I have to refuel.
All right, I'm abandoning this one.
Yeah, I think what it might be is that we might have to do the guild level, the guild certifications, and then do the local certification. So if we can find a blackjack security mission that is in the air, that might be it.
I do have a blackjack one now, but I don't know if it's in the air. It doesn't look like they were last seen at the pit. So that the pit is it's a ground base.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But I don't see any other blackjack ones. See, we did the protect site. We've already done the certification for protect site. And I think with I mean, look, worst come to worst. Oh, we don't have the vehicle, so that would be an issue. How about we just grab one and sit and see? We can just abandon it.
Yeah.
Having said that, I'm not sure if that'll put you in negative for Blackjack, and maybe you can't get it after that. If we get it as a ground thing, we can just get the Cutlass and go do it. Because we're in kind of a bind. I got it. Alright, warp in there.
Where's it, Herson?
No, it should be on Lyria. The one you shared.
Quantum
If it's
drive
on
is
Hurston, it
now
means you've
off.
still got that. That's the
Quantum
suspect
drive is now
apprehension.
off.
You gotta track the new one.
I see.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off. Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
$20K's out.
Okay, I'm on the other side of the planet. I'm trying to get around. It's not easy. Jesus. Alright, I'm jumping to you. Alright, 32 kilometers out. Let's just go there.
Alright. Yeah, it's an air mission. By the looks of it. Though I don't see the target. I only see this rando. Okay, so this guy that I'm on is the target.
Are you in dogfight? Are you going around with max speed, or?
I have the speed limiter off, but I don't necessarily fly at full throttle. Just depends on the situation.
Oh, I see.
The boost is also useful. Like if you need to do a turn and then get up behind them again. So I think we should be certified for bounties in this area now. Should start seeing some. Okay, so I'm now seeing an MRT. You want to do that?
So you killed them?
Yeah.
So it's over.
Yeah.
Alright, that's why I couldn't find them. Let me look at the missions.
Yeah, so you should have, I guess you should have another certification, because you're still on VLRTs, I think.
It says Blackjack Bounty Trial Contract.
Yeah, I don't know what this one gives you. Guess we could just try it and see if it's on the ground. If it's on the ground, we just bring the cutlass.
So it doesn't say share though here.
I see. Yeah, maybe that
It's
one.
in Walla. It's in Walla. Let's try it anyway. Just follow me. Let's see, Walla. Yeah, I can't see Walla. I can't because it's on the other side of... So I'm gonna fly to Arco first. No, that's not registering either.
The orphanage works for me.
Quantum drive is now on.
Well, go there, so maybe I can, if I don't manage, I can jump on you. Because nothing works for me.
Quantum drive is now off.
I don't think that will... Like, if I go to Walla, I'm not sure if it'll help you jump there. Because I think you'll have the same problem trying to jump to me. So the orphanage doesn't work for you.
I don't even know where it is.
It's on Lyria.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's a little bit further around.
Yeah, I can go to the orphanage, but it would never have occurred to me. You know, I'm already on this moon, so
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Quantum drive
Sometimes you can
is
go
now
around the planet, sometimes you can't go around it. I think it's maybe like if it's on the other side of the planet, but off the planet. That's where there's an issue.
right now I'm jumping on you. Right, so I'm seeing this. Let me see if I can share it now, just in case. No. So he's like, he's on the other side of the moon, and there doesn't seem to be anything near him.
Are you here at Walla?
Yeah. Am I? I should be. Yes. Walla and
What's the nearest
Walla.
marker to him?
This location. Lost and found.
Is he on that or is it just nearby?
I'm not sure. Just nearby. Yeah, nearby. Okay, I'm jumping there.
Alright, jump in.
Quantum drive is now on.
How much hydrogen do you have?
I'm not sure. Let's-
There's a little gauge on the right hand side of your HUD. Say HYD.
Seems to be about full. About full.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I'm here now. I can finally turn off this bullshit, and it's 20 kilometers away. How do you turn the speed limiter off?
Off. I think it's the mouse wheel.
What? Click it in.
No, like as in, so it's a relative thing. So if you want to turn it up, you mouse wheel up. You want to turn it down, you
But
mouse
what
wheel
if I want to turn it off?
But you might have to bind something. I don't use the keyboard, so I'm not sure. I have it on my
Okay.
joystick.
You know
Like-
how you turn it off? You put it at the maximum.
Right.
You put it at the maximum, that means there's no limit.
Yeah. Like on my joystick, it's an absolute thing. Actually a slider, so I just turn the slider up, like just push it all the way up. So it's not quite like a switch, but it's close.
Dude,
So what's
it
your
looks like
height?
he's
You're
on the
very
ground.
low. You're very, very low.
It looks like he's on the ground. He's not moving.
There is a target up ahead. I don't know if that's
Where is
him.
it going?
Okay, that seems to be a bug, what I was seeing. Yeah, I've been following this target, but that I can see, but it just seems to be underground or something. It looks weird. Looks bugged. Guess this one must be bugged. Because unless you can see something.
No, I can't. I can't really. It's just in the far off distance, some red bullshit.
If you go into your contracts tab, do you see VLRTs?
No, I don't think so. I'll check again. No, I do see one.
Yeah, okay, so you're certified, definitely certified for this system. You just need to keep leveling it up. So
Yeah,
there'll
I'm
be
gonna
another one that will,
abandon-
it'll be from the Bounty Hunters Guild. It's not the Suspect Apprehension. It'll be another one from the Bounty Hunters Guild to level up.
Yeah, but you told me about VLRTs, right?
Yeah, they'll be super easy in the Scorpion though. Like, really, really
Okay.
easy. Like, probably an MRT is better. And I can do them, but
I don't see an MRT. So there will be another. What is it gonna be? Suspect. Okay, I think I found one.
don't do Suspect Apprehension. That's the player one. There should be another one from the Bounty Hunters Guild. And that should be the next level, as long as it's not Suspect Apprehension.
Yeah, it's the tracker one, the one in the cave.
Yeah. It says it's in a cave.
Well, let me see. He was last seen at Raven's Roost on Calliope, so let's try it.
Alright.
I'm
The other thing
sharing
is
it.
those certifications usually cost money.
Yeah. Yeah, it costs money. It's certification. Have you got the mission?
Yeah, I got it. Alright, so this is microtech. Probably have to refuel.
I don't.
Guess I'll go via personnel 5. Oh, I should just refuel here.
Quantum drive is now on.
This fucking shitcoin that I went all in 2 weeks ago. It has my entire 2 weeks. I haven't been able to do anything productive because I'm just following every day that fucking shitcoin, and half the time I'm depressed. And I'm never gonna do this again in my life. Never, never, never. It's just the last 3 months. Like everything I've been buying has been doing well, and I was feeling super confident. And I thought, okay, let's go for one last shitcoin. And it has fucking. It's gotten to the point where I don't care. Even if I lose everything, I don't give a shit. I just don't want this fucking thing in my life every fucking day. I can't sleep. It's not like I can sleep, but I wake up, check the site, and then I can't go back to sleep again. I can't.
Right.
Fucking terrible.
Which one is that?
The Havoc.
Right.
And you know what's going on with Havoc? Right now, it's almost half price what I bought it. So it's 50% off from what I bought. And we're expecting them to release their app. Like they were saying last week, they would. Every day they say today they're going to be released. And we expect that when it gets released, because it's at 5 million market cap, and its competitor is at 130 million, almost reached 200 million market cap. Like this coin could do a 20. It should at least do a 5, at least a 5 in the next few weeks after it release. But it could go up to 20. And there's people that are showing the app working. They're showing video of the app. They're showing screenshot of the app. The top 25 holders reportedly have got the app and they're testing it for weeks now. But always in the back of my head, I'm thinking, this could be a scam. Maybe they're his friends, and maybe they're just gonna rug and it's gonna go to zero. But I don't want, like, I could sell out all my coins now and take a 50% hit, but I don't want to. I'd rather go to zero, and because if I sell 50% loss now and a week later it goes 5 up, I'm just gonna kill myself. So I'm staying in, and it's interesting. It's good. Even if it goes badly, it's good. It's good education. I should have been employing risk. You know, I should not have gone all in. I should go only on 5% in. And then if I had gone 5% in, I wouldn't have any. I wouldn't even be checking the price if I had gone 5%. I don't give a shit. You know, you should go 5% in like 10 coins that are risky. And then if 2 or 3 of these risks pay off, then you make a lot of money. But the thing is, how do you find 10 coins that you believe in? Like, I could barely find like 3. So you need to do a lot of research. You need to have patience, and then
Quantum fuel
I don't
is at
have all these things. You know,
100%.
I don't have patience, and I don't. It's just I'm not psychologically made for this. But that said, I'm not doing badly. Like I have not been doing badly at all the last few months, and I was gaining all this confidence. And then I don't know why I said, yeah, I said let's go all in and see what happens. But you can't. You're gonna get wrecked eventually if you just keep jumping in. You're gonna get wrecked. Anyway, it's not the end of the world if I get wrecked, but you know, I had some plans, and if I get wrecked, then I can still do the plans. I just can't do them, you know, like easily, like comfortably. So we'll see.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off. Landing gear raised. Quantum drive is now on.
I'm on my way to Microtech.
Where exactly are you in the map? Because like, oh, I can see. Are you behind me?
Yeah, I had to refuel, so I'm way behind. You're like 4/5 there, I guess. I'm about 1/6.
So with this technology that they're putting in they're putting in all the equipment in the game. So in different states of disrepair. So you'll be able to find um, armor in different states and many different colors, not just like countless tints. Um, so I think that in Pyro, you won't be able to get the coolest gear in the like. You maybe I think that they would have like shops that would be so amazing. Shops that sell armor, but it will be like half destroyed, and it will be odd pieces, and it will be horrible. Like trying to keep the cult spec going like in pristine shape in Pyro. I think it will be a mission. I think we're gonna have to like send somebody over the weekend
Quantum
back to
fuel
Stanton
is
and
at
bring like.
75%.
But if he's bringing, imagine he's bringing like 200 sets of armor, and something happens on the way.
Yeah.
You
You're
know,
gonna,
he could get jumped.
you're gonna need a
Uh,
quartermaster.
yeah. It's so like what other game? Like I cannot imagine any other game where you would have that kind of. That's logistics. That's
Yeah.
logistics. And even more, if you actually build a base and then you need to, because you have turrets, but the turrets need energy, and then I have actually seen the fuel refineries. They've shown the fuel refineries that you can build as in a base. So, want to keep all that stuff running in the frontier. It blows my mind, this fucking game. Stuff that you didn't think that's what people are complaining on Reddit. They're saying you're working on tinted for the armors and you still don't have a working star map. But the way they do it is that they want to fix the star map and they have a better system, but that system they don't want to do like a halfway system. He wants to go to the perfect system. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same with me. So he doesn't care because he's not playing the game right now. He doesn't care. He's not in a rush. He's making $100 million a year, so he may as well make his perfect game the way he wants to make it. And if a bunch of people are complaining and calling him a scammer, then as long as he's making, as long as he's making his company is in the red, in the green or whatever. And dude, the company is making $100 million a year, and they still haven't put in the apartments and the base. I guess you'll be able to buy refineries. You'll be able to buy base components with cash, right? I don't see why they would not do that if you can buy pretty much everything else.
Quantum fuel is at 50%.
They have said, you know what they have said? That when the game actually releases, you will no longer be able to buy ships with cash. That's what they've said. You believe that? So, two things could happen. First of all, is they can just like never release. Or I think the way he has it in his mind is that by the time the game releases, he will have other income streams. I don't know how he plans to. I don't know. Maybe he will just sell credits. So he won't be selling the ships, but he'll be selling the credits to buy the ships. So that's the same thing, isn't it? I honestly think even he doesn't know exactly how it's going to work.
The problem is that by the time a game launches, he's not going to know. It's like what we were talking about the other day, like how to make money. It depends how many people you have playing the game. If he has more people playing the game, you'd have a different revenue model.
Exactly. He definitely has a lot of data now, so he probably has a decent idea. But there's unknowns. Like for example, one unknown is what if he adds all that farming stuff and that cleaning stuff and dancing stuff and fashion stuff. And I've seen on Twitter people that are not they don't play complex games, like women or trans people. I've seen playing this game just playing fashion and driving around Microtech, and making little parties and little meetings. So who knows how big that market is when he has a billion different kinds of clothes and a billion different little it could be, are you going to be able to join the Sims crowd? That's the question.
Yeah.
Can you draw the Sims crowd? Because what other game can compare with this for the Sims crowd right now? I don't see, with this level of fidelity, 3D, having your own apartment, posters in your apartment, the coffee, all that stuff, you'll have closets. For example, I bet you anything you want, once you can buy closets, someone's going to build a huge warehouse and he's going to put there every single piece of clothing on the entire universe. Someone's going to want to collect in the game all the clothes. I'm going to be that guy, basically. Maybe not all the clothes, but all the cool clothes. And I also want to have, my ships in an actual hangar where I can walk around. They actually used to have this, they actually used to have this hangars. Yeah. Where you walk around all your ships, and if you had the most expensive one, it was like on an asteroid. So your hangar was on a fucking asteroid. That's why they made the little buggy. The buggy was made so you could drive around your ships in your hangar.
Oh, in the hangar, yeah. So you were saying the other day, even for some at the moment with some of the big ones, that would be good. But it'd be even more important. Like how big was the hangar?
You see that, that's why if you look in your don't you see where it says AeroView hangar, or the hangars have names? So there's like 5-6 different sizes, and the bigger ones are also the more deluxe ones, and I'm not sure like how they compare to the hangars in the landing zones. There's pictures and there's online, and you can find videos if you feel like. All right, so he's 178 kilometers away, and I'm just going to
I'm nearly there.
fly there. I check the Discord like every couple hours to see if that guy has left. I'm like, is he gonna listen to something I said? He's not gonna like it, and he's just gonna leave.
Quantum drive is now on.
Oh, I found somebody on Reddit. He made a thread yesterday. He's traveling across Stanton without quantum. So he's like 7 hours, guys. I'm 6 hours in.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
If we end up doing all the content and we get to the end and we're bored, we don't have anything else to do, that's when we can enter those contests, the Atmo Esports. And there's at least 3. Atmo Esports is the biggest, and there's the other one that runs races, only races. And then, so at that point, we can take those seriously if we want. But I think we probably won't run out of content. Probably won't, but who knows? Maybe if we get drawn in too much. Yeah. And Shub says that with Arena Commander updates now, he's going to play a lot more Arena Commander. They're going to have, a tank battle in the next patch for Arena Commander.
What sort of environment?
Like trees
urban
and
or
stuff.
right?
No, wilderness.
About 80 k's out.
It says neutralize. Is neutralize a euphemism for kill?
Kill or incapacitate.
Okay, it looks like they are in the air. I suppose I'm gonna wait for you. How far out are you?
I'm catching up. I'm like 35 k's from him. Coming in very, very fast.
I wonder if I should throw some missiles. I got 16 of them. I see
Yeah, I'm
two,
here
I
pretty
think.
much.
Okay. Okay.
What is chaff in the other one?
Sorry, what was the question?
Chaffs and flares?
I think that flares are the main one. chaff like gets rid of your targeting signature for a while. But I think they changed the system, so I'm not really up on like the current state of missiles. Alright, he's nearly dead.
Target destroyed.
Sustained some damage. Yeah, I definitely need to learn what button it is. So. I still have those bugged indicators in the distance of these enemies.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Why am I getting an alert, commodity price alerts in the middle of the fucking battle? Who gives a shit? Is that it? We did it?
Yep.
Let me see what my my rank is now with the Bounty Hunters Guild. Nope, still junior guild member. It's filling up though. Have you sustained any damage?
A little bit. But not... yeah, there's nothing in the red if that's what you mean.
Let's see. So what is next? I'm looking at Bounty Hunter here.
I think to get... if you don't have another certification mission, then you might need to level up your bounties.
I see, so just do some bounties basically.
Yeah, but we'd have to go to... oh, we could try to do it. We could do it here in Hurston. But you'd have to do a Hurston certification, I think, to get those.
Why? Why specifically her?
I think you have to do the local cert plus the Bounty Hunter Guild cert to get the bounties in that area. So you get the Bounty Hunter cert that unlocks it everywhere, but you also need the local cert, I think. Like if we went back to Area 18 or to ARCorp, we should be able to get some bounties.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Alright, well, I definitely will need to. Let me see what time it is. Oh, it's only 6:11. No, I'm done. So, alright, I'm done. So now what should I do? Like, just log off, or should I just go back all the way to ARCorp and land? What do you think?
I think if you log off, it's fine. You just wake up in Everest Harbor or something like that.
So, only if I die, I wake up back in ARCorp. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a little while, so I can't really remember all of those mechanics. You could
I'm
also
looking
log
forward-
off in the ship. Oh no, you can't because it doesn't have a
Okay, it
yeah, it
a
doesn't have a
bed,
cabin.
yeah. If I had with me a clone with the Carrack, my character goes on the Carrack, sleeps, but what happens to the Scorpius?
What do you mean? In what circumstance?
So I have two computers. One is the clone with the Carrack, and
Yep.
one is my icycalm account with the Scorpius.
Oh, you mean if
And
you
I
like
wanna
quit with the clone online, but this guy who's flying Scorpius quits?
No, let's say I want to close both of those computers. Like I use the Carrack as a carrier,
Yeah.
so that it instead of having to go back, I go back to my base and I sleep on my bed in the middle of space, in my capital ship, the Carrack. So
Right.
I fly my Scorpius with my Icicle account to the clone of the Carrack, and then I suppose I probably can land the core Scorpius on with his wing folded on the Carrack. Then the character Icicle goes off, goes into a bed and sleeps, and also the clone goes into a bed and sleeps. And
Yeah.
then the Carrack disappears from the map. But what happens to the Scorpius?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it stays in space, and then when you bring back the Carrack, the Scorpius needs to be reclaimed from a thingy somewhere. If, on the other hand, you leave the clone running the computer all the time, still you can't. I don't see how you can save the Scorpius if icycalm logs off. Unless it stays in the world because of PES, the way my cyclone stayed in your hangar. I don't know. It's crazy that we don't have. We have the game in our hands and we still don't know how this stuff works. And they seem to be changing it too. They definitely seem to be changing it over time.
Yeah, I think we at one point we did know that, but then stuff changed, so we haven't been playing it a whole lot.
And I don't know exactly, like it's not like there's a place where you can easily check this logic. They have a page somewhere where you can check how the logic changes. Even the roadmap with, they don't when they release a new patch, they don't list everything. They list just the main. Well, you can go to the visual roadmap where they only list the big features. And then they have a detailed patch notes in the forum where maybe there they also mention, but I've never actually read one of these. They mention smaller changes, but then there are even smaller changes that don't even make it there.
Right.
And then you only find out about them by a Reddit thread or. It does make sense though. It does make sense though when you have they have 1,100 people working on it. That even you go ask Chris Roberts and he wouldn't even know all the details.
Right. Alright, I'm gonna log off. I might come back later.
All right. Yeah. Shubin has. I don't know what you're doing the weekend, but Shubin